Hey everyone, welcome to the Barely Normal Wet Shaver. That would be me, Doug Bear. So I've got three topics I want to try to cover in this video. Hopefully I don't bore you or it takes too long. The first topic is how, why, and when I use toners. Number two, shaving the hollows. Those are areas where maybe the razor doesn't make complete contact with the skin and it's a bit of a challenge. And number three, the winning hone job. So we'll talk about that third one a little bit later. Let's start with talking about toners. So I think most of you know that a splash and a toner are generally different. Splashes have alcohol in them, where toners generally do not. Some people would consider witch hazel a toner. They're more or less an astringent. They have some tannin and possibly some alcohol, which can dry the skin. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, I wouldn't say in the cosmetic world that they would classify witch hazel as a good toner. A toner is basically going to do two things. That is hydrate the skin and provide some balance to the pH. Whenever you have something like a humectant, which would be like a vegetable glycerin, it's going to retain the water, penetrate into the skin extremely well, and build that moisture. We all need hydration. I don't mean moisture, I mean hydration. We all need to, hydrate, and a toner will help benefit that. In their world, you'll often hear them say cleanse, toner, exfoliate, serum, and oils. Well, in the case of exfoliation, we're doing that in the process of shaving. Most of us will clean our face before shaving, or you take a shower and you'll build up some level of hydration, but taking it to that next level, a toner before shaving can really help benefit that. Now, with glycerins in them, you get a little bit of a booster in the lather. And with the glycerin also having a little bit of an oily kind of content to it, you can be thinned down with things like rose water and water. Aloe vera gel will also mix in that well to give you a lot of benefits to your skin and actually provide some performance aspects to your shaving. So that's all basically what a toner is, whether you buy from an artisan, you buy from a cosmetic department in a department store, or you get it at your local health food store, whatever. They're all probably pretty good at those aspects. You can spend tons of money, you can spend less. I think as long as you've got some type of humectant, some type of pH balance for our purposes in the wet shaving world, I think that's really all you need, and there's lots of options out there. Now, what I do is, because I love to froth, I will take the benefits of the froth, which has certain amounts of moisture because of the soap and values, and just take a little bit of the toner and kind of splash it in there like that. And that's probably just a little bit more than what you would use when you are, using an aftershave at the end. But whatever, if you've ever used like a beard oil or something of that nature, or you put a little bit of, your aftershave in your hands, it's about that same amount. Now, the way I'm doing it, I still think that's the best way to do it. You could take bloom water and drop that into a container and then add the toner into that, but I also add a little bit of the aftershave splash. Now, yes, it's alcohol, and yes, that can be drying, but I think with the fact that you've got the moisturizer of the soap and you've got the hydration of the toner, it just barely would have any impact at all, but you get the scent strength, which is awesome. So like me, if you're like me, if something is lightly scented, it might as well not have a scent at all. I can't smell it. It's unscented if it doesn't pack a wallop. I'm fortunate that I don't have any skin issues. I've only had one soap that's ever given me a problem, and I'm willing to take that chance. So I throw a little bit of the splash in there, and that just brings up a waft of the scent. But all of the benefits of the toner are in there. A little bit of the moisture is in the froth. again, don't do it if you don't want to do the frothing process, or just shake it up and use it not so much as a way to build the lather, but just as a pre-shave and between each one of the passes. So that's a biggie to me. I think, why do we use pre-shaves just before we shave? Why not between? Well, maybe the reason is because it's just another process, another time consumer. But if all you have to do, if you have it in container and you just drop that brush into it between each one of the passes and just put it on there, you know, I don't have to wet my face beforehand, because this has got all the humectants that add that hydration into your skin. And with using the brush, I think you're putting it in a little bit deeper and getting it in, and you're keeping your hands dry so that you don't have to wipe off your hands. So do what you normally do, I guess, but try this if you can, and put it between each one of the passes. The glycerin's going to be a little bit of a booster for your lather, and the oily kind of consistency adds a little bit of slickness, which certainly doesn't hurt. So give it some thought. I mean, certainly afterwards, you can continue to use the splash and you can continue to put a balm on. I don't think any of that can really hurt, but I think the toner just adds another higher level of quality to your skincare. So that's my story. That's what I wanted to offer you guys with reference to toners. Give it some thought, give it a try if you like, and let me know what happens for you. All right, so I'll be back in just a second and we'll talk about the hollows. You know, there is one more thing I forgot. When it comes to using the toner, I'm talking about how I use it when I face lather. I still think that having it in a separate container and then putting it on between passes would be beneficial. But if you wanted to, this does not negatively impact the lather, as long as you don't do it to excess. So if you wanted to put it into a bowl, and right at the very beginning as you're making your lather, you'll get the additional benefits of the toner for hydration and pH balance a little bit more if you just mix it right up into the lathering bowl. So try it that way too if you are a bowl latherer. And if not, you can do like what I think might be a little bit more beneficial. Go ahead and make your lathering bowl and just have that little container off to the side and put it on between each one of the passes. Sorry about that, I forgot to mention that. Hey, so next topic is shaving the hollows. So again, those are areas where the razor may not make contact with the skin very easily. I've seen people like Vito Bell challenged by this. Vito's a great young kid, currently deep in his studies, so we haven't seen much from him, but I'm sure he'll be back soon. As well as like Max Shaves. Awesome dude, love his videos, and he has you know, some areas where it's very difficult for the straight or shavettes to make contact. But I think what most of us do is we try to stretch the skin. Let me get my razor here. Stretch the skin, lift up, pull down, and what that actually does is it makes it even more concave than if you did the exact opposite. Now, it's a little scary to think that way, where you're actually relaxing the skin, dropping your chin down in the case of this area here where I see it most often, and including myself. And then maybe you might even try moving your chin. Now, I like to move mine away from the area. If this is the area, move it a little bit away. I drop down, and then I just move my hand down enough that I don't have any wrinkles or any super loose skin. Now, let me just show. If you pull it tight and I go over it, I miss big sections. Okay, so I got that kind of an effect. But if I drop down, move away, pull down just a little bit, I'm able to get that lather off. So for guys like Vito and maybe for Mac, that's something to try. Do the opposite of what nature tells you to do. Don't tighten up, don't pull away, don't stretch the skin as much. Relax, drop it down, let that skin kind of relax a little bit so that it doesn't cave in as much, but just pull the skin a little bit so that you're not going to have any loose skin that might catch under the edge of the blade. So something to think about. Hope that's of help to any of you that are challenged by that. All right, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was the winning hone job. So what do I want to say first is thank you so much to everybody who's been watching my videos and who has subscribed. I'm at 250. I love it, man. I can't believe it. I haven't paid attention to it, but I suddenly looked over and I thought, whoa, 250 as of like just this week. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and for all of you who have supported me and have had so many nice things to say to encourage me. And I didn't honestly think I was going to be able to do this long. I was just going to make a few because I didn't think there was that much I could offer. But as long as I can keep coming up with some creative, weird things that I like to do, I'll keep on rolling with it. But, you know, it's not the type of thing that I can do every single day. There just isn't that much content. But regardless, what I want to do, and I haven't told Dr. Matt this yet, but I want to pay for somebody who is a straight razor shaver to feel one of his edges. So if you are interested in having a razor honed by Dr. Matt, what I want you to do is in the thread below say 1 million views. That's not for me. I'm not anywhere near that. It would take me probably 1 million years to reach that point. But anyways, Dr. Matt just did. Congratulations to him and to all of you that enjoy him as much as I do. But I think it'd be really cool if you haven't felt one of his, you haven't used one of his edges to do that. So we will leave that up, and you can, and what am I trying to say? Post in the thread below, and we'll continue to let that build for 2 weeks. And then at that point, I'll make the announcement and pick a winner, and that lucky person will get a chance to get a razor honed by Dr. Matt himself. So that is it for now. Again, thank you so much to all of you for the encouragement, for the support, for watching, and keeping this channel alive, I guess. So till the next time, peace out, brothers and sisters.